Hi everyone and welcome back to Nurture and Also. My name is Bumi, a first-time mom, wife, and most especially a girl, finding her rhythm in the middle of motherhood and everything in between. If you are new here, I am so glad you're joining us. And if you've listened to the episode 1, thank you for welcoming my heart so gently. Today, I want to talk about something so many of us feel, but rarely say out loud. Losing yourself after becoming a mom, especially when you're doing it in diaspora. It is one thing to become a mother, then is another thing to become a mother far from home, far from your support system, and far from the version of yourself you used to recognize. When I became a mother, I didn't realize how much of myself I would lose in the process. Not in a sad way, of course, but in a real way. My routine changed, my priorities changed, my body changed, and my mind changed. And amongst all these changes, the drastic changes to my priorities became the most obvious thing. Everything I did, I was doing for my child. And this became evident in my habits, in my diet, and the quality of my thoughts. And for the first time ever in my life, I couldn't put myself first. It appeared I was living my life through my son. The level of commitment to him was heightened, and it appeared I ignored everything else, even the things I enjoyed doing. I remember one time my husband had to tell me to make sure I ate before feeding the baby, because guys, I forget to eat sometimes. My husband would call me from work and ask if I had eaten, because most time I could go all day just looking at my baby and drinking water. Because looking back now, I think it was the excitement of having my baby that failed me. But not again, because when I am doing this again, I would remember that baby excitement is not food. Bumi, I do solemnly swear to it. The Christmas after I had my baby, my husband was having a glass of wine, just chilling. And all I could do was sniff and drink my water. And it was white wine, guys. I love white wine, but I just couldn't. I remember I looked in the mirror one day and thought out loud, who be this babe? And where did the old me go? And I think a lot of us feel this quietly, especially moms who are doing it in a new country. You give and you give and you give. And before you know it, your identity becomes blurry. I became so emotional, too emotional. I'd get mad at my husband for the most absurd reason. If he's sleeping, I'll be like, how dare you sleep? We made this baby together. Wake up. Let's take care of this baby together. There were days I didn't even know what I liked anymore. I wasn't listening to my music anymore. I couldn't finish a movie. I couldn't finish a book. I wasn't doing things for myself. I was just surviving. Motherhood is already a lot. But motherhood away from home, it eats differently. There's no mom popping in to check on you. There are no aunties holding the baby so that you could sleep. There's no cousin cooking jollof rice or making egusi in the kitchen. There are no spontaneous help. The loneliness is loud. The silence, it is heavy. And you don't want to complain because you're grateful. But you're also overwhelmed. You get what I'm saying, right? And then comes the guilt. The guilt of wanting a break. The guilt of wanting your whole self back. The guilt of feeling tired. But I realized I could love my baby deeply and still miss who I was. And that does not make me a bad mom. It only makes me human. I realized that motherhood didn't take away my identity. It just forced me to rebuild it. Slowly, I started finding myself in small ways. Not the old me, but the new version. The better version, I would say. I realized I can't go back to who I was before motherhood, obviously, but I grew into something new. Someone softer, but stronger. Someone tired, but wiser. Someone stretched, but also expanded. I started going out with friends more. I started creating time to have fun. For me, this podcast, it became one of those steps. Something that wasn't, just my job or something that wasn't for my family, but was for me. It was my space. It was my voice. And it was my healing, my courage, and everything I'd always loved to do. And every time I sit down here on this couch, I feel a little more like myself. So if you're listening to this and you feel lost or overwhelmed, and you feel like you've disappeared into motherhood, I want you to know that you're not alone and you're not failing. You're allowed to rediscover yourself. You're allowed to choose yourself gently. You're allowed to dream again. You're allowed to be more than just one thing. You can nurture and you can say also for yourself. So I'd like to say thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this episode spoke to you, please, please, please share it with another mom or another woman who needs to hear this. And if you have a unique experience you'd like to share with me, please feel free to send a DM or send an email to nurtureandalso@gmail.com. I'm Bumi, and this is Nurture and Also. Until next episode, take care of yourself, but most importantly, keep nurturing and hustling your way always. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.